All right,
Yeah,
happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Survive to Thrive. Today, we're going to talk about quitting and just grab pen and paper and take notes. I'm going to start out with a comment that a lot of you are going to agree or disagree with. And the comment is, you guys are giving up every day. There is a difference between giving up permanently and giving up on a daily standard. Quick story. Uh, My passion growing up was football. I played high school football. It was the only thing that I was good at. I wasn't good at school. I was okay. I got decent grades. Most of you know my story, and you know that there was a lot of challenges growing up. You talk about confidence. I had a complete lack of confidence in myself as a human being in every area of my life until I stepped on a football field. And that was the one thing that I was good at. Matter of fact, I was really good at it. So I started training to be able to play college football. It became an obsession. I lived in the gym. I worked out nonstop, ran, worked on my skills in order to become the best football player that I could become. And in high school, I was a star. I was all district, all county, all state. I had colleges calling me up and offering me scholarships. And I ended up accepting a scholarship to play football for Evangel College in Springfield, Missouri. So I go to Springfield, Missouri, and I step on the field. And the very first day, we're running this drill called Kiss Your Mama. And the way this drill would work is you had these blocking dummies that were lined up two face to face about 10 yards apart, and then on the outside, two others that are about 20 yards apart. And you run up and hit the other guy like rams, butting heads. And then you go around to the other side and you'd hit. And of course, that's a little bit harder because you have a farther distance to run. And then you go all the way back over to the other side, and this is the killer. Now it's basically you line up 40 yards from me, I'll line up 40 yards from you, and we're going to run at one another and meet in the middle. And I get knocked out. First day. And I wake up to the coach with smelling salts, laughing, saying, welcome to college football. And that was my first wake up call. I did okay, but I was not the star in college that I was in high school, and I started to lose my confidence. And after 3 years of failing uh, at my dream of playing college football, I mean, I was on the team. I got on the field, but I certainly wasn't the star that I was in high school, and I quit. So, what's the price of quitting? Uh, College football is a sport that when you quit, football is a sport that when you quit, you're done. It's not like tennis or swimming or basketball or even baseball because you can get on a softball team and play as long as you're physically able to play. But when you quit playing football, you quit playing football. You just don't play again. And for those of you who have played any kind of team sports and it was a passion for you and you gave up, you might be like me. I mean, I have these dreams, guys. And in these dreams, it's kind of a funny story. I will, I'm on the football field and I'm playing football again. Except in the dream, I'm 62 years old, but I'm 100% confident that I can still play football. So you got this old man out there with football pads on, playing football with everybody else. And, in my dream, I'm the star of the field again. And, it's like, oh my gosh, I get to live my dream again. And of course, the thing about a dream is you wake up, it's not reality. In reality, I realize that I'm never going to play this game again. This goal that I had of playing college football, I gave up on it. And because I gave up on it, it's a forever decision. It's not a daily decision to give up on what I'm doing that day or to give up on a standard. It's I'm giving up on my dream. That was a horrible feeling. And I think it happened for me. It didn't happen to me. And the aha that I had from that experience is I never wanted to feel that way again, Carolina. I never wanted to ever feel like I had given up on something that I could have done. And I became passionate about the fact that I was never going to give up again. Now, fast forward many years to the beginning of my real estate career, you know, I'm 6 months into my career and I had sold one house. I had four properties under contract and I was running out of money. And I remember sitting next to my team leader on a plane. We were flying to Austin, Texas for a real estate event. And I talked to my team leader and I told him, these deals all have problems. And if they don't close, I'm out. I'm going to have to go back to the corporate position I had prior to getting into real estate. In other words, I was ready to quit again. I made the decision, no, that's not what I'm going to do. I promised myself that I would never give up again. I'm not giving up on this. Fortunately, all four deals closed, and I sold 60 houses in the next 6 months, and then went on to sell an average of over 100 homes a year after that. And the question that I have for you guys is, what if I did quit? I wouldn't be here talking to you today. I certainly wouldn't have the opportunity to change lives, make an impact on other people, have any kind of significance in any way, or leave any kind of legacy. You just look at everything that's happened since then, and it's not happening now because I quit. But I didn't. And here's what I want you guys to hear. Life is hard. It is not easy. Real estate is hard. When you were in real estate school, if you're anything like I am, you got your license, paid for it with a credit card, and expected to start making money your first day. I mean, after all, all these people, they're going to call you, they're going to want to buy and sell real estate with you, and this is going to be easy. I'm just going to make a whole bunch of money selling real estate. And then you realize, wait a second, nobody's calling me. I'm not selling any homes. Wait a minute. You mean I have to prospect? What the hell is prospect? What does that mean? I have to call for sell by owners. I have to call expired listings. I don't want to do that. I just want people to call me and I want to sell homes. This is a lot harder than they told me it was going to be. And you're experiencing this. Some of you right now, out of the 60 people that are on this call, are thinking of quitting right now. I know you are. And I'm speaking to you. And I am telling you that there is only two ways to fail in life at anything you do. The first way you fail in life is by never getting started. You have a dream, you have a passion, and you choose to never pursue that passion. The second way you fail is by giving up, by quitting. And it's interesting because you, as a human, have the option to quit. I mean, if it was wired into you that you just wouldn't quit, how much more successful could you be? If you watched my video on lead generate like a duck, the whole story behind that video is I'm walking every day, and part of my walk is in this golf course, and I walk by this pond, and every day these ducks are coming up to me, quack, quack, quack. And I ignore them and I keep walking. And then one day, as I'm walking by, and I imagine myself having a conversation with God as I'm doing this, and all of a sudden the light bulb just went off, and I'm like, they're asking for food. That's what they're doing. They're running up to me because in this golf course community, people come out to this pond and they feed these ducks. So they think everybody that walks by the pond is going to feed them. And it's just wired into them to just quack, feed me, quack, feed me. But I'm thinking, I've been walking by this pond every day for 2 years. I've never fed these ducks. What the hell? And they just keep on coming up to me and they keep quacking. And I'm thinking about you guys. And I'm like, I'm calling expires and nobody's listing with me. Nobody's answering the phone. It, I'm just not getting anywhere. I'm going to give up. Well, if you were a duck, you wouldn't give up. because it's wired into you. And then I'm thinking, you know what? They're not failing because just because I have never fed them once, other people are feeding them. So they're succeeding. They just quack, quack, quack until somebody feeds them. And I'm continuing on my walk as I'm having this conversation. I'm thinking, I'm having this conversation with God, right? And God's telling me, John, I've been showing this to you for 2 years. It took you 2 years to finally connect the dots. You're a little slow. You probably should have picked this up quicker, but the ducks are lead generating. And since they don't stop ever, they don't have a bad day. They don't wake up in the morning and say, yesterday sucked. I think I'm going to skip today. I'm not going to quack. Or somebody was mean to me yesterday, so I'm going to stop quacking. Or it's raining, it's cold, I hurt my flipper. I'm going to hang out here and I'm just not going to quack today. They don't ever do that. It's just wired into them. They get up and they quack until somebody feeds them. It's lead generation. And then I thought, what if my real estate agents would lead generate like a duck? What would that look like? What would be the results? There's this tribe in Australia. They have these tribes of Aboriginal rain dancers. And anytime in these outlying communities, when they would have a drought, they would go to these tribes and they would ask them, come and dance, do your rain dance. And some of the rain dancing tribes, it would rain, and some it wouldn't. But there was this one tribe that every single time they danced, it rained. And the leader of the outlying community said, I'm going to figure out what's the secret. So he goes to the leader of this group and he says, what's your secret? Every time you dance, it rains. And he says, simple. We dance until it rains. It's lead generation. What if you just got up every day and danced until it rained? What's the price of quitting? So you quit every day by giving up on your standard. You have a standard of talking to 20 people or 10 people. You have a standard of lead generating until you've created one new lead or scheduled one appointment. And you get to 18 conversations and you stop because, after all, 18 is close enough. And you tell yourself things like, I'll make it up tomorrow, but you won't. So you didn't have the 19th conversation, you didn't have the 20th conversation. And what if that 19th conversation was going to be $1 million listing that you would have got if you just would have made the call, but you didn't get it simply because you didn't make the call? You give up when you judge away opportunity and you say things like, well, they're not serious, they're not motivated, they're unrealistic, that it's a bad lead, and you judge away opportunity. That's quitting. For me, no is not a word that lives in my vocabulary. I reject rejection. No simply means not yet. I understand that people will never change their mind, but they will make a new decision based on new information. And I'm going to give them that opportunity to make a new decision based on new information by asking great questions that will lead to a new decision based on new information. But I'm never going to have the opportunity to see the success if I give up. If I give up on one person, I'll never have the opportunity to work with that one person. If you're thinking of giving up, call me. I will get you through it. I've got your back. I'm right here next to you. You're on this journey, and you're on this journey with a destination that is assured. Now, the destination is assured. What that means to me is you're already there. There's this really cool scene in the movie, Hidden Figures. If you've never seen it, watch it. I love motivational movies. And there's a part in the movie where one of the ladies goes to Kevin Costner, who is playing the director of this think tank that is working on getting to the moon. It's the 1960s, and John F. Kennedy said, we're going to go to the moon. And she goes to Kevin Costner and she says, do you think we'll ever go to the moon. His response was, we're already there. Being on a journey with a destination that is assured is understanding you're already there. You know, when the Wright brothers created flight, they didn't create something that didn't already exist. You have to understand it already existed. In God's eyes, we had already flown a plane. He's just sitting there waiting for somebody to discover how to do this, but it already existed. He just needed one person. That one person could be you to hang in there long enough to discover a way. But if you're on a journey with a destination that is assured, you're already there. So next time you find yourself having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, just remind yourself, I am on a journey with a destination that is assured. And if you have that mindset, you'll never quit. All right, raise your hands, talk to me, guys. Sunita, Hawk, you're on deck, Anna, and then Sean. Let's go.
John, I think it's from previous. I did not raise my hand this time.
Okay, no worries. Hawk,
Sorry.
let's go.
Yeah. Thank you.
All good. Hawk, let's go.
I love those stories. They are so powerful and so brilliant, and just like this everybody needs to hear this one. This one's an amazing training. Um, I think one of the biggest things that I found, especially when I'm feeling down, is to go back and look at all the little things that have helped me win, that I've done to win, and then I can realize like I have an iron will most days, but every once in a blue moon, or even for a couple times for a couple months at a time, I have just struggled. And it took me looking back at all the ways that I have been successful to then realize that I'm capable of anything that I believe that I'm capable
That's right.
of.
That's right. You were engineered.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. You're welcome. You were engineered for greatness. You were designed for accomplishment. Anna, let's go. Sean, you're on deck.
So I just wanted to share this. At the end of last year in December, I was ready to quit. I was done. I had a lot going through. I was going through a lot because my daughter got a heart surgery, and it was just too much. And and it was a long year to say, but this year in January, I gave a time. January was it for me, and sure enough, I ended up getting a call to list an $800,000 home. So it's just been a roller coaster, but I'm glad that I stayed because one, I got to see this every morning, um, this Zoom in the morning. So it has changed everything, the way that I see the real estate business, my personal life, and it's just balancing. So I'm very grateful for all this. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Anna. Carolina put in the chat, I have a small pity party, and then I say next and move on with other blessings that God has in store for me. Thank you, Carolina. You know, that makes me think of how much time does it take you to overcome a disappointment, right? And a lot of people, it takes a day, a couple days. And here's my response, guys. One quick breath. Next. Let's go, Sean.
All right. I like what was it Anita had to say. The pity party. To me, the pity party is acknowledgement. You had a loss. It's okay to acknowledge it and then move on. That's how you get over things. But what I was going to say originally was kind of the life cycle of hard work, right? Hard work begins with motivation. And then the motivation kind of, who wants to get up at 5 in the morning to go work out? Who wants to make those phone calls? So after motivation fades, it becomes about discipline and just doing the work, just getting up, just making the calls or filling out the notes, whatever it is. And discipline is what gets you through it. It's what gets you to your goals. Um, I know we always talk, there's always talk about a lot of hard work. The guy that's swinging the hammer, digging the holes, he probably doesn't want to be out there, or she probably doesn't want to be out there. If they could do anything, it wouldn't be digging a 10-foot hole in 100-degree heat. I'm in Austin, so it's hot here. But they're doing it anyway, whatever's motivating them. And that's where we have to get as agents is we've got to just stay disciplined on what we've got to do. So I actually stop saying I'm working hard. I say I'm staying disciplined. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay disciplined on what I got to do.
Well done, Sean. Proud of you, buddy. Okay, Carolina, talk to us.
Thank you for always pouring, just being very transparent. That is, it's not easy to do in this environment with so many people, but that's a gift that you have, John. I feel that it is a gift. I will say that grit is very important. Our mind is the most powerful thing ever because it'll tell you lies. And yeah, I have felt like a victim and I have felt sorry for myself in this business. But what I will say is the more downs that I go through, it just makes me so much more resilient for the next time because it's like bounce back ability. And the other thing I want to say that as a parent, you know, for me, I know my children are watching and they absorb everything that I do or my husband does. And so, you know, I can't quit. I have too many things that I have to help my children accomplish, just like my parents who did when they came to the US 40 plus years ago. So I will say that my kids, they see the sacrifices my family had to make coming from another country, and they may not say it, but these are things that we have to be mindful of. These kids are watching us, and discipline, absolutely. Now I understand your passion, John, with being structured because you're an athlete and athletes think a certain way and it's a pattern. But this business, guys, you have to just, if it's not working out with the environment that you're in, you're going to have to pivot. Stop thinking about your friends and stop thinking about all the people you're going to disappoint. At the end of the day, if you have a goal and you're not meeting it, do yourself a favor, pray on it or meditate on however you get to that mental state and move on and find your why. And I think once we all know really what we're clear on the why, then everything else becomes a little bit easier.
Well done. Thank you, Carolina. So glad that you're a part of this group. Thank you. Lauren, last up for the day. So talk to me.
Thank you for this message today because I really needed to hear it. I am one of those, I don't plan on quitting real estate, but I do quit like daily by telling myself, okay, I can do such and such tomorrow.
Right.
And I actually do very similar to Carolina. I also have kids, and have my kids in the back of my mind that I'm trying to show them to keep pushing and work hard for things.
Right.
I just need more structure, which I'm still working on. But thank you again for this message.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you got value. Tell your friends, grow the group, and I will see everybody tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Let's go.
Thank you,
you.
John.
Thanks.
Good day,
Thank you.
everyone.
God bless everybody.
You.